Welcome, Night Owls, to the Book Club After Dark podcast, an inviting moonlit podcast. I'm your host, Danny.
And I'm Michelle. We break down fantasy, romantasy, and thriller novels.
All things enchanting, intriguing, suspenseful, and maybe a little spicy.
Each episode features intimate discussions on captivating stories, character breakdowns, fan theories, and more. And this is your content warning. This podcast contains mature themes and discussions that may not be suitable for all audiences. Episode includes explicit language and descriptions of mature romance, as well as depictions of violence and other intense subject matter. This podcast is rated R for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
And going forward from here, today we have a very special interview episode, but we are going to have a shit ton of spoilers for Quicksilver. So if you have not read Quicksilver by now, we've covered a lot of it. Go back, listen to our old episodes, read Quicksilver, whatever you need to do. But this episode is chock full of theories, all kinds of stuff. We're about to get in deep with Quicksilver. So consider this your spoiler warning.
Let's get cozy because the best stories are told after dark.
All right. So tonight we don't have a typical drink of the episode, but we do have a plug for a small business that's just getting up and running that is very bookish that I'm really excited about because, of course, we do have a drink of the episode. And so when this company reached out to us, we were like, yeah, that sounds like a good fit for us. So I actually have a glass of white wine tonight, but in one of our book club after dark wine glasses. So go get that on our website if you're interested. But to fill the glass, we are going to be talking right now about what's called Bookish wine. They just launched. They have their first subscription box hitting for the month of December. The month of December is a new Bookish wine box. The December release has a special edition of the new book that just released, Child of Chevet by J.R. Cathers, which is being currently covered by another Bookish podcast that we are going to be interviewing in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. But in this box, you have this really exclusive special edition Child of Chevet by J.R. Cathers. It's a brand new romantasy. It's gotten incredibly good reviews so far for this book. But more importantly, you have a 2023 limited edition Shivaria Malbec with an artist-created label. You get special author access and a wine tasting game. There's all kinds of really cool stuff going on with this. And like I said, this is a female-owned, really small business. They're just kicking off. And this subscription box is dedicated really for wine drinkers and readers, which you guys know is basically us. So we're the target audience here. So if you are ready to get going, you can try out their wine. They have a bespoke artisan crafted bottle of wine that comes in each box. It's custom made to match the world and theme of the exact book. So it's pretty cool stuff that's going on. You can get this quarterly. Obviously, this is for 21 and up. You shop now at bookishwine.com. And guess what? We have our own code, which is really fucking cool. It is Book Club After Dark at checkout to receive a signed copy of the December book. Signed copy. You can start reading, sipping, and subscribing today. So bookishwine.com, bookishwine.com. Use our code Book Club After Dark at checkout, and you'll get that signed copy of the December book. Yeah. So we're really excited. I was super stoked that they reached out to us. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
I love how it's an immersive experience with like a wine and a book. And, we're all about the immersive experience when we're diving, especially into these fantasy worlds. And, it's just another layer to that. And plus we have our own code. And if you're not taking advantage of that to get a signed copy of a book, then you're missing out. So definitely make sure you use our code when you subscribe to Bookish Wine.
Yeah, that's awesome. One other thing that was kind of cool too is that they have like this extra behind the scenes content, and what also was really cool is they just recently released their reusable boxes that like everything comes in, and they're really nice. I'm like, man, so like you can kind of use everything. So I'm really curious to see what goes on with their next one for the next quarter and just how everybody opens their boxes as they start getting these subscriptions. So, yep, that's our drink plug for tonight. We'll be back to our formal drinks of the episodes here soon, but we wanted to let you know about that opportunity.
Yeah.
Let's immerse ourselves into Yavelia again. Tonight, guys, we have very special interview guests. I think it's the largest interview guests that
Yeah.
we've ever had on our show by far. Yeah. We are going to slip into our interview with Between Pages and Friends, where we learn all kinds of stuff about how we're rating books, whether or not we agree with how folks are rating books. We've got metrics, we've got all kinds of things going on. We've got fun, different ways that we're using emojis to describe spice. We're going to discuss their likes, dislikes, and most importantly, as we gear up for Brimstone, theories. Guys, we've got theories galore. We've got
Lots of
questions. We've got
theories.
theories. We've got a lot happening.
So whether you're reading along with us or you're just here for the book talk, we are glad you're here. Our interview lineup is with Between Pages and Friends. So we have John, Con, Lauren, and Kyle interviewing with us tonight. So that's 6 total. It's fun
Ooh.
chaos. Fun chaos
Yes,
as we break down all things
indeed.
Quicksilver and, gear up as we're getting ready for Brimstone.
Let's do it. So whether you're reading along with us or you're just here for the book talk, we are always glad that you're here.
Good evening, Night Owls. Tonight we have with us Between Pages and Friends. We are so excited to have another podcast on the show with us to talk all things Quicksilver. So there are a lot of you. If you could introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about how your podcast got started.
Yeah, so we're Between Pages and Friends. We are a book club style podcast hosted by Con and Lauren, 2 besties who read a lot of books, and John and Kyle, their gamer turned reader husbands who've agreed to read with them. And I'm John.
I am Kyle.
Lauren.
And I'm Con. We started our Bookstagram initially back in August of 2023, so just about 2 years ago now. And it started as just Lauren and I, who are long distance best friends from college. We had started reading again, as you do in adulthood. And Lauren asked me to start a Bookstagram with her. And we were sharing our unhinged texts and stuff about books for about 6 months. And then my husband started reading A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and his videos started going viral. And we had so much fun reading and reacting to series together as rereaders and first-time readers that within about 5 months after that, so May of last year, we started our book club podcast.
Wow, that's awesome.
I
have a
that
lot
the
of follow-up
husbands are
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
absolutely love that. I mean, we have supportive husbands, but they're uninvolved husbands in terms of like, for the most
They
part,
read
they'll like
sporadically.
skim.
Depends.
And for whatever reason, my husband always ends on like the spicy chapters. Like, what are you reading? Like, don't
Mm.
you
Of course.
can't
Mhm.
skip. You have to start from the beginning.
Well, since we are book
Exactly.
club style, we talk through all the chapters,
All the things.
all the chapters with our spouses. So
I love that for you and
Together with your
marriage.
best friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yes.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
That is
Yeah.
something.
yeah, but we do it in
Yeah.
our own special
now wanna
way,
go-
right, John?
Actually-
Yes, that's right. We have a segment called Emoji Erotica. So
Oh.
I cover our chapter recaps for whatever chapter section that we've read for that week. And if there is a spicy scene in the chapter section, I will recap that scene using only emojis. So that's been a big thing for the past few books. It's been a lot of
Yes.
fun. We have a lot of fun with it.
Uh-huh.
What is okay? So I'm gonna have my first follow-up question. What is the most frequently
boy.
used emoji that you use in this these chapter
I have
recaps?
a
That is
few.
good
I mean,
question.
eggplant is definitely up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Any of the
Um,
finger emojis.
The finger emojis are used a
A
lot.
1, 2,
What?
or 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends.
Yeah, the
Three.
two finger emojis used a lot.
Mhm.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
There were a lot of lightning bolts when we did the
Oh, yeah.
Empyrean
True.
series.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Bolts.
Oh well.
And the
Yeah,
little
that's right.
and the little
Yeah.
shadow figures.
Yes,
Yeah.
the little the
Yeah,
shadow
and
okay.
figures.
silhouettes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of chess bishops is what you call
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
usually.
The chess
Yeah.
pawns.
Like, it's
Yeah.
the chess pawn emoji.
Yes. Would you be
I have a
would
few
you
be
guys be
like-
able to guess what the chess pawn is?
Is
Give
it
you
a
a hint.
female anatomy part?
It is. Yes.
Yeah,
You're right.
Okay.
You
That
got it.
was yeah. That's where I was
Yes.
going. Okay.
That's my
I'm
pretty much
impressed.
my
Like,
universal.
do I want to guess that?
Yeah, that's pretty much my
Wait, who was
universal
that? Who was the
emoji
furry
for that.
friend? Who
Uh,
was that?
Oh,
Because we saw a
chess
furry
is-
friend briefly.
This is Minnie. She really likes to be involved. She's in every episode of the podcast. As soon as I start talking, she clocks in and
We
comes
love a
up on
pet
screen.
mascot.
Yes.
We love
So
a pet
this is
mascot. Hi.
Minnie, short
Minnie.
for
Minnie.
Minerva. That's her government name.
I
And
love
she's so
she
Minerva.
just wants to be here. She's
An
part of the
angel.
party.
Honorary
Yeah.
member.
As soon as she hears emoji erotica, she's like, whoa, ho, ho.
Yeah,
Damn,
she-
yeah.
it's time.
She's purring like crazy right now.
What?
There you go.
They're
Yeah,
like,
she
oh
is.
man, they're bringing up those chess pieces again. I've got to,
Mhm.
I gotta go see what this is about. That tracks.
Yeah, that's
Now I
a
wanna know if
newer
there's-
segment too. That was
I
that
lo-
started with Empyrean, right? Because
Yeah.
the first series we did last year was Throne of
Yeah,
Glass.
that's
So
right.
there's no emoji erotica for
Yeah.
quite a
Most of that,
while.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's a monster series to cover too. It's a
Yeah,
big one.
Yes, it was.
It was a lot.
Took
We
us, like,
spent 8 months on it,
months,
and
yeah.
that felt
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah, I bet. Because those, and as you get through it, the books are so much more dense.
Mhm.
Did you guys do it like a tandem read style
Yeah,
or no? For like the last
Yeah, we
ones? Did you
Mhm.
do? Okay.
yeah,
Interesting. That's wild.
yeah. Those
Hmm.
were fun episodes to figure out a schedule for.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. That's a lot. I do have a question on the emojis going back real quick before we move on because I feel like there's some unresolved
Naturally.
tension. I
Always.
need to
They're
know
always.
what I need to know for like Saris and Kingfisher what are our emojis there? Like what's a recurring? What are we thinking? I thought of flames, but I don't know if that counts.
Mhm.
I feel like that's too. I don't know. I guess that's a question for you, John.
I don't know.
You're
I don't know
testing
off
his
the top of
memory
my
now.
head. I know, yeah. What would I have used
think
for
about it.
them?
I feel like you had a lot of the side profile shout emoji, if I remember correctly.
Okay, yeah. That
Is that
does
because he
make
talks
sense.
a lot? Or is that the talking into her mind thing?
Maybe just being noisy.
Yeah, making
A
any
lot
sort
of
of noise.
lot of noises.
Yep.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah, I would have to look back at some of
I'm
those.
curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a
We're
lot
gonna
of
have to pull
people
some
will
too.
try to like guess what they mean every week, and it's
Yeah.
it's a
Oh,
real
it's
That's
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love that. That's really creative. I wouldn't even think to do something like that. So yeah, mostly
I wouldn't be
ours are
creative
the same
enough
ones. Yeah.
to do more than like eggplants and like the water one.
Well, the
That's
peach.
literally.
Don't forget the peach.
Oh yeah,
one's
yeah.
Oh yeah, he
important.
goes
We'll have the
he goes
peaches.
line by line.
Very
Yeah.
detailed.
Oh.
Almost every
Yes,
Yeah.
they're like 40 to 80 emojis long.
Oh,
And you
I
guys
had-
are all still
Yeah.
friends.
I
This
had-
is impressive.
I had one chapter section where I used the hammer emoji 4 times.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's funny. Ooh, that may have been I used boxing glove a couple times. Nice.
Okay.
A
Okay.
manila folder. I think
I
I
knew
remember
that
that
one.
one.
I
That's
remember
funny.
that
You
one
remember
too.
that one? That's good.
Yes,
Oh my
I thought of it
goodness.
too.
Manila
Hey.
folder.
That's funny.
Oh, here's a good one. So I would also
You
use
talk a lot. It's the Empyrean one.
Yeah.
They talk way too much. Zayden,
They,
I'm like,
they
sir,
do talk a lot.
relax
Yeah.
for a moment. There's a lot of chit chat going on.
It's
Sorry, John,
good
you were
stuff.
gonna say. Go ahead.
No,
What's the one you were.
I was just so if what I started to do too is if there wasn't an emoji that could be used, I would just put in parentheses 2 to combine to make one emoji. But one I had for this chapter section was bread and chopstick, so I'm assuming I meant breadstick here. I without looking at the text, I'm not really sure what that is referencing, but I'm assuming it means
Referring to
breadstick
the
in some
text.
way.
Yes, the sacred
Anyway,
text.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Good times. So a couple of examples.
Yeah,
Yes.
we
I'm
appreciate
still stuck
the
on Manila
creativity.
folder.
Yeah,
I don't-
I'm not-
I would have to
not
do some
sure.
personal
Are we-
research
are
to
we
tell you
currently
I'm
which
pretty
one that
sure
is.
it's
A
mostly about
message,
the
what-
last word.
Yeah.
Oh, the fold.
Okay.
Fold. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yes.
is
Okay.
that
It's
good? Yeah,
clicking.
that could be it.
Folder.
John's
I
like,
hardly
yeah,
know
that was
her.
actually good.
What?
Maybe. I
I
don't
think
know.
it
Was
is.
that? I don't know if
You've
that
also
word
used
was
paper
used in
airplane for
Quicksilver.
that.
I have used paper
Oh,
airplane.
yeah,
for
that's
that.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
that same word.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
Anyway,
Michelle, we covered dark romance at times, and I just feel like there's so many emojis that we're underutilizing. I just now
I know.
feel like
Now I don't
there's
feel so creative.
lot.
I was like,
Definitely.
wait
I
a
know.
minute.
Yeah.
Can I assign an emoji to this? That's
and
awesome.
a lot of them too are I try to be creative in finding like pathways. So it'll be, you know, a couple different links to the emoji. So it'll make me think of this, which will make me think of this, which will make me think of said emoji. So it'll be kind of a couple times removed, just trying to stay creative through
obscure.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't have them all right off the bat.
yeah,
Gotta
that's
keep
right.
'em
Yeah,
on their
you can't just be
toes.
eggplants, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I mean that
Yeah.
just gets boring, right?
What's the
Exactly.
fun eggplant? Or, I don't know. Well, anyway, now that we've segued
Yeah.
appropriately onto the
What a way to
next
start.
topic. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to our show. That's fine. My question is fairly obvious. We know that Brimstone is coming out November 18th. So right around the corner. We're really close. I know we're right on the cusp of this thing, guys. Not that we've been like counting down or anything or like creeping on Callie Hart's Instagram regularly or anything like that. Because who would
Not
do
at all.
that?
No.
No. But what is your individual ratings of Quicksilver, and like what did you individually like or dislike? Because we're a welcoming place here about the book.
For me, this is my favorite read of 2025. This is a big 5 stars for me. I really love the banter, I think, a lot between Saris and Kingfisher. And I feel like all I do is talk about the bonus chapters, but I love how much those have like changed some of my view of the story. I've already done my reread of Quicksilver and prep for Brimstone. And getting to go back to like the first time Kingfisher and Saris meet when it's even just in like Madra's palace and knowing Kingfisher's POV from that and how much it changed how their interactions are, I think, even from the rest of the book, knowing how Kingfisher thought from moment one. It's just so good. And I don't know. I loved everything about it. Big fan.
So 5 stars, right?
Yeah. Big 5 stars. Big,
Big 5. All right.
sparkly, shiny 5 stars.
Okay.
Boys, you want to go?
Make Kyle go last.
Sure, I'll rip the Band-Aid off.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Look, I had 3.2 stars for this book.
0.2. Okay.
That's
Hey,
actually
don't-
pretty
For
good.
Yeah.
Kyle,
Don't-
that's actually
Yes.
pretty
pretty
good.
good for me.
In
I
his
just the
defense.
main thing for me is I just felt disconnected from the world she came from because like
Hold
I
on a
felt
second.
like
Hold
it
on a
was-
second. Wait.
Yes.
We have to go back to this 3.2. I have 2 follow-up questions. The first is how do we get a 0.2? But the second question is
Oh,
what
oh
is a
boy.
5? If this is a 3.2, give me a 5. What's a straight out 5 for you?
I've not met a 5 since we started our
met a
podcast.
5.
Not even.
Highest was like a
Your reading
4.1
journey.
or 4.2
Yeah, I think the highest has
on
been
pod.
Yeah.
4.1 or 4.2.
But
I have an extremely complicated algorithm that I came up with,
You have a system.
where each star has a certain amount of points, and then I just put
Wow.
it in when I'm done. Like if I get checks off the list, so I got 3.2 at the end.
yeah,
You're so
we
opposite.
read Throne of Glass and he was giving it very few stars. I don't even know. And people were like really upset at him because everybody loves Throne of Glass. And so he actually wrote out his whole little system. It's on our Patreon. And I think the description of it is like, because you deserve to know while your 5-star reads are Kyle's 2 stars or something. And it's like all his very specific descriptions. That's just
Yeah.
how his brain
Yeah.
works. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, since we've put that up, people have been like, "Oh yeah, okay, like,
Yeah, I
get
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah,
Sorry.
it's an
Keep
okay
going.
book for me. Yeah, it's just the main thing I think I had to look back at our notes from that episode was feeling a disconnect from like the world she came from, and like just feeling like it didn't matter at all. It could have just started with her going to the
Lauren?
new world, and yeah,
Okay.
and being there.
Do you still feel that way?
and- Yeah, until I read the next one, I guess. I mean, I know it's going to be more involved, the whole, different world traveling and all that. So I guess we'll see. But that's the thing too, is I've told them and like our listeners, like I do each book individually. So even if like I might rate a series as a whole, but once the book's rated, I don't change it. Like that's the first read. I'm not going to reread it and change it. That's my first impression. And like a book has to stand well enough on its own. If I was to read this book and never read any other, that's the
I
rating
respect
that it
it.
would get. So
Okay.
Which,
I
I mean,
respect
some of the
it.
first books in Throne of Glass, I think, were your lowest ratings so far. But
Yeah,
Tower of
they
Dawn
were.
was his highest rated on the
Yeah,
podcast so far
yeah.
of all the series we've done.
Tower of Dawn
So,
was the
yeah.
high. I
Yes.
have my qualms with that. We can come back.
But
Kingdom of what?
I
What? Okay.
but the people on the internet, there's so many that are just in Kyle's corner and are in the
Yeah.
same.
No,
He
well,
fits
yeah,
that
I
right.
group
feel
so
vindicated.
well.
No, but I feel like that's good. Like like my rating system is like basically I'm just handing these things out. Like I don't know if you guys
She's like
remember
Oprah
like
with the 5
Oprah's
stars.
giveaways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm out here with the
Yeah,
fives. They're just
Mhm.
you get one and you get
yeah.
one and everybody gets one.
I
And I try not to do that, but then the problem is I feel so good after I finish the book. Usually, I
yeah.
mean, unless I DNF, I am a DNFer. That I will do.
Oh,
I will not fit. If I feel like we're not in a 4 to 5 star trajectory,
yeah.
she's
Do you
gone.
rate if you
Good for
DNF or do you
you.
just DNF and leave it though?
Nah, I'm done. We're
Okay,
out. I've
that's
left
I
the
respect that.
building.
I will never like denigrate anyone else's rating system. Like I know tons of people just hand out fives like they're nothing. But I've
What?
seen
Lauren,
like
I'm
even on like
Present.
trends on TikTok or whatever, people saying like, "Oh, all my books are 5 stars, but I want to give out a 6-star rating to this book because it's even better." And I was like, "Well, if you have to make up a higher rating, then just lower the other ones. Obviously, your 6 stars should be your 5 stars, and everyone's got to shift down."
hold on, Kyle. Wait a
Fair.
minute. I thought we don't re-rate books. Doesn't that go against like rule 3 or wherever we are in the rule rating
I
thing?
think
You
it's
can't do that.
it's not re-rating the book; it's readjusting the levels. Because if you're having to make up a 6th
Oh,
star,
I see. The metrics are
you
wrong.
know,
Got
yes,
it.
the
Got
metrics
it.
are
Got it.
wrong. You were wrong from the start. It needs to be
Yeah.
rethought, remanaged. But to me, to answer your question, a 5-star book would be like absolutely, totally unique and life-changing experience that I would
Danny Lean
nothing could ever
Spencer.
beat it, sort of thing.
Nothing could ever beat it.
A life-changing
Oh.
experience. That's a big ask from a book, I would
Yeah.
say.
Well, I also hear people saying that books change their
Okay.
lives all the time, so it's
So,
possible.
and
That's fair.
honestly,
No,
the
it
fact
is.
that
Yeah.
we've gotten any books over 4 stars or at 4 stars, it's like it makes it so much more enjoyable when Kyle's rating is that high.
You're
Yeah.
like waiting
I
on
will
the
I
say,
freak
like,
out
what did you
if
rate
it's
it?
4 stars.
Yeah.
if you were to look at my little algorithm or whatever you want to call it, your rubric, because it really does read sort of just like a depressed English professor
I
trying
was
to
gonna
give you a
say,
bad
are you a
grade.
teacher or have you been a teacher
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or
'Cause
form
it's
in
like-
your life?
He's a teacher's.
Yeah, I'm a
Okay.
teacher's kid,
There
and I
we
was
go.
a middle high school
a teacher's
counselor for the
husband.
longest time, so I have all these like growth metrics and stuff. But it was very much like, did the characters grow in this journey? Like, did they, did where they came from or who they are benefit anything, or did it change or whatever? All these things that have to do with like the characters, the plot, the setting, the writing. I forget what the 5th one is offhand, but it's there.
Kyle's not reading for vibes. Got it.
No,
I am
he
not a
does
vibe
not.
reader,
No, he does
but
not.
I also don't DNF, so I will.
That's fair.
Are we throwing
Read a book
shade
that
or
I
we're
hate.
just making a
Yeah.
comment?
No, I'm just saying
Oh.
I will read a book that I hate because I feel like it could change at the end. And like, what if I get all the way through it and then I'm like, oh, actually, the end made everything better. But I also read it because if I dislike a book, I might DNF it. But if I hate a book, I will read it. So I have every reason to back up my hatred for it.
That way, if it comes up in polite conversation, such as
Yes.
another person's podcast
Yes.
or such, you would be able to.
Yeah.
Have
I'll be like,
evidence
this
is
of
some good
like
polite
why this is
conversation.
awful.
So we got the. What did you like and
Told
what
him
did
to
you
go
dislike? 'Cause
last.
clearly, it's
I'm
not a
just saying.
5.
I did like the world building, and I love Fae in general. I'm very D&D, so like the
Okay.
old rules of the Fae, and this book was probably the closest to abiding by what I consider is like a true Fae. Like, don't give them your true name, don't make deals if you don't know what you're getting into, sort of vibe. So I really liked that. Yeah, that's just the world building was good as well.
That part where
Right.
like Lorith's song disappears because of the deal,
Yeah,
and that like
it's
changes
yeah.
the world and stuff like that.
That was cool.
Hmm
good stuff.
Yeah. John and Con, it's a tough act to follow.
Yeah, well, I think we both we did. I gave it a 5. It was I had said that it was a pretty easy book for me to rate a 5. I really enjoyed it. I loved how it was written. I loved like the emotion that we got out of the characters. It was spicy, obviously. Had some really sweet like action moments, which I'm hoping we get more of in Brimstone. And then
What do you mean by that?
like
Love that for you.
for example, like when they were fighting at the Darn, like when Saris and like Renfis were
The
like
feeders.
kind of like back to back fighting the
Like
feeders.
she has her moment.
Yeah, and then like
I have a theory on that. We'll come back.
okay,
Keep
yeah.
going.
And then like Kingfisher like kind of swoops in and we get a little like moment with him taking down a few of them. So that whole scene was like pretty sweet. And then the gods, how she wrote the gods was pretty sweet, and how they're writing, how she wrote them into the story. And they're clearly not done. So yeah, definitely a lot of good things there to make it 5 stars.
Solid.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I'll round it out. I was also 5 stars for this one.
Woo!
And I really didn't know anything about this book going into it. I just had heard a lot of people talking about that it was like spicy. But there's so much more to it than that.
Yeah.
And it was fun, like getting to the end of the book and there being so many different theories and like little strings of things that are unfinished that she's dropped little hints about in like the bonus chapters or interviews about how she's planning to like bring all this stuff back into the story and weave it all together. And so I'm just excited about how she's set up for the rest of the series. I love the banter. I love me some Carrie and Swift.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Onyx is just like the best little animal sidekick. I just love him so much.
the best.
Mm.
Okay.
I don't know if we had mentioned it, but John and I were like the leaders of this book. We had read it before, and then we got to sort of guide the ladies through it the second time.
Oh.
So
Okay.
that
Okay.
was fun as well. Sort of deciding when they had to stop reading and decide the chapter breaks and stuff.
Okay.
And the OSHA boys.
Ooh.
That was
Oh,
the
That
best
the
was
part.
OSHA
boys.
boys. That was good too.
Yeah, I'll explain that. I have
Yeah.
sort of a bit that I do. Started with the Empyrean series, I believe. As with my background as a counselor, I will call out the red flags that I see in characters in my red flag diary. I'll explain sort of like the logic and how I would maybe counsel that person if they were to be counseled. In this book, however, since he called her OSHA, I thought it would be funny. So John and I got just high-vis vests and OSHA, like hard hat helmet. And we would come in-
OSHA. Like safety.
OSHA.
Yes. Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
Anytime
OSHA.
OSHA was mentioned or she was violated or like taken for a turn by the Fae, we'd come in and be like, whoa, OSHA violation. And keep track of how many OSHA violations there were in this book.
How many were
That
there?
was fun. There were 69, which was pretty
Oh.
funny.
That's ironic.
Of course there
Okay.
were.
Which really was just how many times OSHA was named in this book, which was 69 uses of the nickname OSHA. So
Were you bringing that back for Brimstone?
Oh, yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. They
there's
even
gotta be
got
more.
they even got Anthony Palmini on it a little bit when we got
That's
to interview
true.
them. And he was like, listen, I'll just be their lawyer and be like, and he started
Mhm.
like voice acting as a lawyer for Kingfisher against
Yeah,
his
that's
OSHA
pretty good.
violations. It was real funny.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
What medium did you guys read this in? Curious.
I like immersive reading for the
Physical.
podcast. So I'm listening to the audio, but I'm doing digital because we highlight and we have to make our notes and
Yeah.
stuff for the podcast. So
Yeah, we do notes in the Kindle app. So I usually have the ebook open and then I listen to the audio as well.
Kindle for
Okay.
me.
Kindle.
I did Kindle and audiobook, but I would listen to the audiobook while at work, and then I would come home and just start reading from the chapter I left on, and then I'd go back to the audiobook and skip to the chapter I had. But yeah.
We did both too. I loved this audiobook a lot.
Ugh,
It
it's so
just
good.
was incredible. Yeah.
Yes.
The voice acting was really good.
mhm.
But
Duet
Michelle, I'll let you
narration is
ask the
best.
next. Yeah, I'll let you ask the next question, Michelle.
Okay, so we know that this is going to be on the big screen or picked up by Netflix and turn into something. So, which scene are you most looking forward to and seeing on Netflix?
Very important question. I need to know.
I feel like there's so many
There's a
good
lot of
ones.
scenes. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
But that's why we're
yeah,
making you choose. It's intentional.
I tried
Totally
to.
intentional.
I really thought about this one, and I was trying to think of one that wasn't like, I don't know, maybe my first pick. Like I really tried to think it through. So I picked
Okay.
the part in the war tent when Ceres breaks Danya's god sword and like uses her power for like that first time, like really big and epic, and everyone freaks out. And then even later though, when she comes back and it's like her first time to make a deal with the Quicksilver and is able to like draw it out of the stone. Just that whole
Yeah.
scene, I
good
guess,
one.
in the war
Those are
tent.
both
It's pretty
good.
cool. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lauren's going to hate this, but I was going to say the maze with Morthel
That was a
Gross.
close second for me.
And the spite. Oh,
just because I want to know how they're going to do a screen adaptation of that. And I feel like the maze scene is going to be epic.
Yeah.
And creepy.
That's fair. Well, he's just going to be real ugly. I think that's a given.
Yeah.
I already don't like
I-
spiders, but I also don't like
Ugh.
lots of teeth on things, and this has both of those, so it's a double
Okay.
hit.
yeah.
Michelle does not like spiders either.
No, I hate
At
them.
all.
Literally,
We can both
the other
cover our
day,
eyes during that scene
the
together.
spider was in my bathroom, and I had to call
no.
my husband from across the house. I was like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not touching it." So, yeah, no spiders.
I'm so there for you. Does yours make fun of you too, or is that just a my husband?
Yeah,
thing?
absolutely, absolutely. There's like, "Oh no," you know. Of course, he brings my daughter along to, also poke fun. Like, look, mommy can't,
Sure.
kill a spider. I'm like, listen, there's only so much I can do as a person, so
Yeah.
it's not killing spiders.
We all have our limits. Yes.
I hadn't even told Lauren this yet, but the other day, our 4-year-old girl was in the garage, like getting a drink or something, and she said, "Oh my gosh, Dad, there's a spider on the wall." And I started like walking that way, and she just came up to me and she was like, "Oh, it's already dead," and had it in her hand. And I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
yeah, it is dead."
Lauren.
That
He was holding the dead spider.
it's just holding
Held that
like a
child's hand
daddy
later
long
that
leg.
day. Gross.
I forgot to mention that to you that day.
Oh gosh,
Hmm.
Wow.
I'd be mortified.
The
Yeah, it was
trauma.
nice. Definitely
Thanks for that.
surprised. I thought she would not be. I mean, out of the
She
two,
would,
she
of
would
the
be the
two,
type.
yeah.
But yeah,
Those second kids.
I
No offense.
Yeah.
No like stress. You're about to have your second kid. So
Oh yeah, no,
It'll be
I
fine.
heard the second
it's
one's
totally
a feral,
yeah. Yep.
and I'm not ready, so
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
Just
Fine.
our advice.
you have a little bit before they can walk and stuff. At least.
Yeah. Just take everything
good.
you did
Grabbing
for the first
spiders.
one and throw it out the
Mhm.
window.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
Just start fresh.
Well, don't throw it out the
I love
window.
it.
You're not supposed to do that to kids.
Not the kid, just everything you
Gosh.
learned, everything you did.
All the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are
It's
no
all brand new.
rules. You're just
Yeah.
surviving.
It really
Yep.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yay! So excited.
it's gonna be fine. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
you're gonna
great.
be great.
Yeah.
Well, I sort of like a turn, I guess, from the dark maze scene, which was a close one for me. I think I'd really like to see the tree scene where they're all
That's a
like
good
with
one.
that tree that branches off into like different realities or whatever.
Mhm.
I want to see how they
Oh,
do
with the
that,
god, yeah.
because it was
Okay.
described very interestingly.
Yeah.
And I have a picture in my head. Probably won't match Netflix, but I want to just see how they
I
sort of
have like a
handle that sort of.
galaxy tree image.
Yeah, the sort of like
ooh.
branches up into the stars or whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got.
Okay. I like
Yeah.
that.
Cool.
John?
Last but not least, John.
Same scene as I was talking about before
Oh.
by the darn there.
Mhm.
I want that action.
Oh, gotcha.
Fair.
And
He
then
loves a good
so,
decap.
I love a good decap as
Yes.
well. I do. And so, Danny, if you said you kind of had something about that. If it
Oh,
has
boy.
to do with the magic of Solus,
I have that later
Does it?
too.
Yes.
okay.
It does.
If it, so I
and
feel like it
Eris,
could go. I feel like that they could
too.
do that really well, or it could be really tacky depending on how they
Yeah.
were to do that, or if they even add that scene into it. But I would love to see that.
I feel like if it's in the vein of what I think it would be, they couldn't not do it.
Hmm.
I feel like it would be part of the story,
Right.
so it would have to be included.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which spoilers are very present here. We just haven't got to that question yet. So we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Well,
If I
what
could
about
have
you
a
two?
follow-up. Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
what about you two? What scenes are you most excited to see?
Oh, mine would be
Oh,
the darn for
gosh.
sure. Just because like
Yeah.
the way the feeders are portrayed are very like
Mm-hmm.
zombie, but like they're like I don't know, the way the vampires are like zombie-ish, but also not. And I just want to
Yeah.
see how they look because they're absolutely terrifying. And that one with like the little zombie and like the infant that's dragging, and it's a very horrible scene.
Ugh.
And I
Yeah,
very much
graphic.
just want to see all of it, the action and then the depiction of the horror of it, because we don't see that a lot in fantasy or romantasy
Yeah.
in terms of like the true horror that Callie Hart was
Mhm.
able to write into this novel.
Yeah, she did that so well.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, you guys are probably gonna be disappointed by. I have two, and the first is Kyle. Sorry, but it's in Zilvarin. I'm very excited to see the opening scene. I think the open scene of this book was actually really cool. And I thought it was really neat that you have like she's got the gauntlet, this whole chase scene. I think the very beginning is really exciting. And so I'm excited to see how they put that on screen because it illustrates Sylvarin and like the spokes of the wheel and like a visual understanding of that. And because we don't get a map of that part of the world, I think seeing it on screen is going to be really interesting. And so I kind of want to see how they're going to visually do Sylvarin. And my second one is actually Anamrath Moor. So when we finally get to like the end, I think it's going to be incredibly visually disturbing if it's done correctly, but necessary. I think Callie Hart is, she has a dark romance background from her previous books that she's authored, but she wrote this in a way that was disturbing on purpose. And the reason it's like that is it's chilling. And I think that scene in particular, the Anna Athmore piece and all of it tying together towards the end, especially for those who haven't read the book, I think the visual cues and how that's all going to work is going to be really interesting. So I think visually that will be a lot to take in, but definitely a big driver in the story. So I'm curious to see how they put all that together. But yeah.
Really hoping for a map of Zilvarin in book 2, since it
Yes.
sounds like we'll be there more.
Yeah.
At least for
Right.
a
That was
bit.
one of our gripes.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so.
Because we had to
definitely one
like
of our-
completely guess what, like, there's a wheel and there's like spokes and stuff like that, but like what does it actually look like? I'm
Okay,
a very
I
big
asked that
person.
question and they all made fun of me. They were like, "It looks like a wheel," and I was like, "Okay, but like,
Put a picture of a
what does
bicycle wheel in
Kyle
the
put?"
chat.
It's like, okay. So I appreciate you guys.
Well, no,
getting it.
because there's a center. There's like a city center
Yeah.
Yeah.
where the where all the guards are and all that, and then there's like these spokes divided by numbers, but we only learn about like a few of them, which we have another
Yeah.
theory
Mhm.
about that. And so like there's like we have questions about all of that, and I think it could be one or two things. Callie Hart either thought that this was going to be like the last book she was going to write, and she's just like, well, if it does great, I'll put a Zilvarin map in there later, or she deliberately didn't give us one for reasons unknown to us now.
Yeah.
I would like to think that it's the latter, but we don't know yet for sure, because I know that this was a big risk for her, that she had been wanting to write it for a long time, and this was like a big risk for her to like go and write this romantasy and finally go out on her own and take a risk and write this thing, and obviously clearly paid off. But I actually have a really random question. Do you guys prefer the new book? And let me use a different word rather than prefer. How do you feel about the fact that she felt the need to replace her original book cover? It's a better question. Do you have any feelings on the subject?
Didn't she recently? I felt like I saw a clip recently of her talking about this. Like somebody asked her
did.
about the change.
She was in New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what she said. I feel like it had a lot to do with just the internet and people freaking out about it. And she was like, okay, I guess we'll do another cover.
I don't hate the original cover. And I guess
I know she did it herself, right?
I know that she was really
Mhm.
proud of it.
Yeah.
And so the fact that
Yeah.
she felt the need to change it because of the internet or whatever is kind of disappointing. Internet.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
that makes me
At
sad.
the internet. But
Yep.
it's just I don't know. I don't hate it. It's not like it's my all-time favorite cover ever, but it's not worth tearing somebody down over, I guess. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that does make me sad. I like the new cover. I'm like a big typography nerd though, so I appreciate the I appreciate the type treatment on it and the foil and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it too is it was self-published originally, and then with being trad published and the special editions, I know there's I feel like in those situations you have less and less control over what that stuff looks like as well, and what kind of angle they're going to take with the marketing. And so honestly, I don't think there's a way to please everybody. I saw people super upset that Brimstone wasn't going to match the original Quicksilver cover that Callie created, and then other people mad about the new cover because there's no illustration or they think the font's weird or just I don't know. But
Right.
I like it. I'm really happy for her, and I'm excited. I'll buy every edition of this book that gets printed.
I already have.
I had, if I could, a follow-up question to your Netflix question, because a lot of the times, as all readers know, when they are taken into media, maybe not a lot of things change, but small things can change. Is there anything that you'd think would be the most likely to change? And the second part of that question would be, do you think it's because there are alternate realities we already know of with Saris and Kingfisher, and this might just be a representation of one of them?
Dang, that was a lot to unpack. I'll
let you go, Danny.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle. Give yourself more
You're welcome.
time to think of your answer. Whatever. I do think that they will have to cut because it's a 600-page book. I mean, there's just simply no way that they're going to be able to fit all the things in there. What I think they cut will probably be not new to us by the time it comes out. Meaning, what I mean by that is I think if it were to come out before Brimstone, it may be telling of things we should be paying attention to more that maybe we're not paying attention to now. But because it's coming out after Brimstone is already being released and after we've probably going to, really read, fine-tooth comb read that, things that I'm paying attention to now may not be relevant, but I think that they are. Namely, the part at the Darn that I'm thinking is something, or a spoke on the wheel in Zulvarin that may not be anything. Usually when they're going to write the film, they're going to take out whatever's not actually story-driven plot. But when we're reading these books, we think everything is story-driven plot from a sentence to, you know what I mean? So we can't decide where this is going to go and what is or isn't relevant. Like we talked about before with did she omit Zulvarin from a map on purpose, or did she omit it because she ran out of time, or who knows what the reasoning was that could have nothing to do with the book itself. So I know that's not super specific to your ask, but that's kind of how I would think it would go, is that I can't figure out where, because I don't have the next book and because I'm not Callie, I don't know where the pieces, because she already knows what she's going to focus on, and she's probably already presented and they've already written and whatever they've done with it so far, which I think they totally already have the costumes and everything for that. That's something we can talk about on the side. But Callie even messaged us about it, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Also, you can curse on our show. Please do so. We are pro for that. If you don't want to, also okay. If you're offended by it, it's too late now and you're here. So, but also I feel like you wouldn't be if you're reading a book like Quicksilver anyway.
Nope.
But here we are. I hope that answers your question, Kyle, in a very roundabout way.
Yeah.
And Michelle, it's your turn now. Immediately, you should go. You get no more time.
I think the things that are going to be cut, as it usually is in terms of when there are theater or film adaptations, are going to be the movement scenes where it's traveling or things that we think are major in terms of side characters, but the directors or whoever deem that, it's not worth deep diving into the queen, the undead queen. Or I hope there's not a lot of cuts I know there's going to be a lot of cuts. I'm curious with Netflix how like the spicy scenes are going to be, if they're going to be intact in full or if they're going to be cut majorly, just because her spicy scenes drive plot in terms of her writing, but because it's Netflix, I'm not sure how much they're going to depict in that, because sometimes they're like a hit or miss in terms of like,
Yeah.
you know, R-rated stuff. It's not like HBO where you'll just throw everything in there.
Fair. Yep.
Yeah. So I think they may cut some of that, but I honestly think it's going to be a more for time purposes than anything, whatever is going to be cut, just because, you know, like Danny said, it is a massive book and there's a lot of depth to it. I really hope they don't cut the emphasis on the gods because it's so important, but I can see that being something, because they're mentioned briefly as like she's first going into the castle and then, you know, obviously there's the god at the end, but I hope none of that's cut because it's really just important to the story. So
Yeah. A lot of that stuff too, with the gods specifically, I was thinking of, because a lot of it is in their head where, like, you know, they're touching the feet or flipping him off. That's a very quick action to do on scene that the readers will not need explained to them. They'll see him flip it off and be like, ha. And people who are watching the show with no context might be like, what's going on there? But
right.
easy enough to not
Yeah.
wholly cut, but still sort of nodding to the fact that there is information there.
Mm-hmm.
From what I know, too, is it's supposed to be a full-length feature film versus episodes of a series. And if that's the case,
Yes.
there's definitely a significant amount that will be cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the travel
that-
makes sense. No one
the
horse,
travel,
I
I
guess.
think also like when Saris initially goes
Sorry,
into
Bill.
Yavelia, there's like a bunch of chapters of like, you know, introducing Kingfisher's
Mm.
sister and all of that. I think some of those interactions will probably likely get cut. I
Like
don't
in
know
their
about
library, the whole research thing,
Yeah.
that's probably going to get
the
cut a lot,
research
even though the
part.
research
A
is
lot of
really
that'll probably
important.
be cut. Yeah.
Yeah. The crackers scene, yeah.
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 That was a good scene.
They're so important, though.
Yeah, but some of those,
Yeah.
some of those moments will probably stay because they're, you know, they establish like the characters and stuff a little bit.
Right.
But I don't know if it would be enough to warrant, because some of the other major scenes are gonna just take. They're gonna have to focus so much time on when Saris actually goes into the Quicksilver the first time. They'll have to really like pull all that apart. I don't know. It'll be tough to see what they keep out. Good
He's
question.
got
though,
such
Kyle.
lovable side characters too. It would be hard to imagine any of them being cut from the story.
Like Archer?
I want Lorith's song intact and sung
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
with the whole thing
Yes.
sung
I think
properly.
either that or I want him to like take a breath and then it cuts to him being done. And then everyone's like, what song are you talking about?
Because it
That's
never
so
existed.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like a weird cut where it looks like even the movie messed up. We're like, oh, the song just went away.
Crazy. That's another crazy thing about the Quicksilver and the deal making, and like how over time the story can evolve and change based on what Saris chooses to kind of do.
Yeah.
That'll be something interesting in Brimstone too, of what that's all going to look like.
Well, and just how much of the
go
of the
ahead.
history she already is learning based off whatever the alchemists before her did. You know, like so much of
Mhm.
things could already be changed from whatever she's learning based off of, like, who knows what the actual truth is of the
Fenrir,
world, I
probably.
guess. Wherever he's at.
That it's in his research.
So on that note, who, if anyone, is going to die in book 2? Who do we think's for sure dying?
Oh, for sure? This is just iffy, but like
Well, who's iffy?
Taladeus, I said. And apologies to Lauren, Renfis, I feel like is in the
Yep.
mix.
I agree.
And Danya as well. I feel like Danya would be like
Danya.
in the moment of finally
know.
like finally
Danya's
redeeming
gonna
herself.
live by
One
all of
last
us.
act.
No, you know that. She's going to live to like the ends of the earth.
Danya is
Oh,
endgame
really?
for Carrion, and I stand by it.
No.
Honestly, her being endgame for Carrion's, I think, the one thing that could save her from that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he would be the one to stop her dying.
Yeah,
Okay.
Probably.
Because they're like complete
I-
opposite. So they'll be like
Yeah, but they
complete
were
opposite
flirting.
Yeah,
tracks.
I'm going off of that
I mean,
one
Carrion
time
will be with
Carrion said-
anyone that moves.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
But that's
And
the
it
thing.
makes Connor mad,
He
so.
can't be with her. She's told him no, so she has made herself the most desirable thing ever to carry on. Is the one person that's
true.
like, oh, she didn't immediately say, yeah, I have to chase her.
Which, how many
Yeah.
He's
times have
just
we
my
read that book?
emotional
Just
support
saying.
plant. Yeah. He's got his plant right there, ready to go. Hey, girl.
His plant.
He'll make his
Okay,
tent look
for
all nice and
real.
cozy.
Yeah.
For real, for me, as much as I hate saying it, I think it's Lorith. Only because I didn't
Mhm.
think he was going to make it to the end of book 1. Like, whenever he
Think so,
jumped
too.
through the portal, but
Oh,
Renfis
John's
didn't,
saying no.
I was like, oh, Lorith is gone. And so the fact that he
Mhm.
made
Yeah.
it to the end, he feels like he's on borrowed time for me. But
Yeah.
Really, as soon as we got an emotional backstory from him, I was like,
it's like,
uh-oh.
well, yeah.
This can't be good.
Stop talking, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
My
Okay,
argument
Con, so
to
you're in the
that,
Lorith camp too. Okay, John, here we
Yeah.
go. Go ahead.
I was gonna say my argument to that is that Renfis seems a little more disposable since Lorith got the God Sword. Now it's like he's a big player, and Renfis has just got a regular sword. So
We didn't
Hot
learn a lot
set.
about him.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't get a lot as much as we could have about him. I think we're
Yeah, but
missing
he's
some
got something
details
going with
on him.
Everlane. And Everlane's story isn't
yeah.
over. So there's
No.
at
Right.
least something there. Although I
That's
have
what
lots of
I'm
theories
thinking.
on Everlane too.
Well, I think because Brenfins' story with Everlane or in general is incomplete at this point. So I don't think he's dying yet. I mean, he could die. There are other books. But Lorith kind of already had his full circle moment in terms of like his story arc. So his character arc's technically done. I don't see where else he can go from here. So that's why I think I'm on the camp that
I think he
might die.
I think the only thing that might keep him from that is a potential romance with Ishabal, because he's so like,
Okay.
I hate witches. I would never fall in love with a witch, blah, blah, blah. And then he finally met her. And I feel like something's totally going to happen there. But
Okay.
other than that, I'm not convinced he's safe.
He also
I
has
just
that
feel
whole
like
thing
Renfis
would-
with that happens to us all the time. He also has that whole thing with having a piece of Kingfisher's soul. And so if Lorith
Mhm.
dies, that frees that piece up or returns back to Kingfisher, whatever, however that
I was just going to say that,
works,
Lauren.
you know? So I don't know.
I think the fact that that was mentioned so many times, and I don't think what you were going to say, Kyle, but that to me is kind of cinches the deal that Lorith is probably on the chopping block. Sorry for I actually he's one of my absolute favorite characters,
Me
so
too.
I
Love
don't
him.
enjoy saying that, but I also think that makes him another candidate. The fact that we love him so
Yeah.
much because
Yeah.
we just know that these authors love to do that. So
Rip out our hearts.
I really feel like all of those reasons are working against him.
Yep.
I think he got
Liam.
such a big part in this book. Yeah, it's not looking good. Yeah, Liam.
Maybe
quite
it'll be
literally.
a decision for Kingfisher to make where he can save one of them, but he doesn't have enough time for both, and he will have to
No.
decide.
That's
Nice.
not
That's
us.
Terrible,
awful.
Kyle.
Nice,
That's probably
Kyle.
going to happen now. Thanks
Oh,
a lot.
Kyle. Way to ruin the whole book.
Sorry.
That
Kyle
would be
says the most
awful.
outlandish things, and then 99% of the time they're true. So,
Mhm.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, that would be
No, but
good
I
drama, but I don't like it.
we also could see
Would.
Kingfisher
Yeah.
doing that too because he's Mr. Fall on his sword all the time. Like, nobody needs me. I'll go
Mhm.
out and
Yeah.
hold the Aegean Gate myself. Like, what?
Talking about, yeah. I mean, Kyle, you mentioned like therapy. Like, your guy needs therapy. he needs a lot of
MMCs
2,000
typically
years.
do.
Yeah. 2,000 years, roughly.
Don't we all, though?
TBD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
TBD.
everyone could do a little with a little.
I mean, some of the people in our books need probably way more than any of us ever would, but,
Once we start living beyond 200 years, we're already double the
Ooh.
time that we are already
Yeah.
supposed to be here. So, like 2000, the amount of fucked upness you could be by then, I don't think the limit
True.
exists. I feel
Yeah.
like
I feel like
just
there's
no-
got to be like a drop off where it's like 200-300 really bad, and then it's like you just go insane for like a millennia, and then it gets bad again. But for that brief period, you don't care.
I've seen all the
Okay.
trauma I'm going to see.
You're like, yeah, this
Yeah,
reminds
they're
me
like
of
all in a
another
movie
trauma
theater,
I
like
had.
really. Like, you guys are all gonna really shock us. Like, there's nothing that shocks them anymore. They've seen all the things.
Yep.
The jump scares don't
Yep.
get any of them anymore. That's why none of them have any modern stuff, because they're like,
That's true.
nothing of our
What's the
world
point?
is good enough,
Yeah.
right?
hmm
Okay, so next question. Thoughts on Taladeus and what him turning Ceres could mean? Is there a bond there?
Yes.
Have found, first of all, yes. Theories on this about him like being like, oh, they're bonded now. And I've even seen people taking it so far as to be like, it's going to be a why choose situation with him and
I
Kingfisher.
was
And I'm
just
like,
gonna ask if John had
I'm here for
emojis
it.
going for Teledeus yet or not. Are they stacked and ready? No, no. Okay.
He's not on that camp.
convinced.
I think
Save
it's
your
mostly
fang
me and Kyle.
emojis.
Yeah.
I'm
Save
here
your
for it.
fang
That'd be nice.
emojis. What the?
Yeah, I'm here for that too.
Yeah.
We want to why choose?
We want
Yeah,
a why
sure, why
choose.
not?
We're here for the why
Okay.
choose. Okay.
Why choose?
I don't
Why
think
not?
Kingfisher likes sharing though. I think
He's not
that
a
becomes a
sharer
little
guy.
problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
In a
don't think
kinky
so
way,
either.
though.
With that.
Like kinky
True.
problematic.
I don't.
We all know why you want a why choose, okay? We all know that means more of something. We all know why.
Eggplants.
More
Yeah.
something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eggplants, hammers,
And
baseball
peaches.
bats.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
boxing
It's
gloves.
the
Baseball
vampire
bats.
teeth for me.
Hell yeah.
Blood droplet.
Well, only because Kingfisher does seem to trust Taladeus a lot more than we would have expected, with the
Right.
fact that he trusted Tal to even turn her in the first place. But also, she had already like bitten him like while she was transitioning, and it sounded like there were a lot of things that she was going to need to figure out. And she was like, "Why did I even do that?" And he was like, "It's cool, baby girl, I got you." But yeah, I don't know. And like
This
Tal
is fair.
was there when she woke up, and Kingfisher was not around yet. So like I think there's a lot more trust there than we would have expected from earlier in the book. But yeah, I don't know. I could see it never happening at all, and we never go anywhere near that. But if it does happen, I'm not mad at it.
That's fair. Does the fandom riot if that's the case? Because I
Maybe.
do wonder. Because here's the thing. I feel like the expectation of the romantasy fandom as a whole would be that it's endgame Kingfisher and Ceres, and that nobody can come in on that situation.
Oh,
Now, me as a
I
reader,
do still think that.
okay, so you still think like ultimately their end game, that this is just like a nuanced situation with Taladeus while she figures out her whole Queen of the Vampires sitch.
And Taladeus
gets a hold
dies.
of
So that's why you
her.
think Taladeus is going to die ultimately.
And he dies.
So they're going to have their little fun
Then he
time
dies.
first.
Yeah.
And then
And
he
then he
dies.
kills
Well, Kingfisher's
to make it
away, you know. She's
Oh.
dealing with
Correct
heightened
that they are
senses.
separated.
And Taladeus is going to be like, oh no, she's going into vampire heat or whatever. I got to handle it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
And Kingfisher will be like,
Wow.
well, you did what you got to do. You do
I don't know
He
that
did
I
call
agree
her
I
a
with
bitch
any
don't
of
know if
this.
that
book
phrase
one.
exactly
For the record.
will leave his mouth.
That's funny.
I just don't feel like Kingfisher's inner monologue would ever be like, yeah, she had to do what she had to do. I just don't. I feel like he would be fucking pissed. Like, I don't think there's any.
Yeah. I feel like
I
it
don't think
depends
he'd
on
be
who
happy
told
about
him
that.
first. Like if Taladeus tried to break the news versus if Ceres broke the news. And who instigated.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
We've
know.
seen
I can't get past the
some
possessiveness.
already like, possessive tendencies with even her just sharing a piece of cake with Carrion, or
Literally.
her smelling or her scent on Carrion from months ago, those types of things. I don't know. For the record,
Yeah, I don't see it.
I am pro vampire, hardcore, love Tal, but I don't see that for that story specifically.
Okay.
So,
So you
I
don't think there's a
envision
bond, or you think the bond's different?
I think that there's going to be some sort of bond, but it's going to be more like the sire bond with like Malcolm,
Like a true
in-
blood type thing?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Not like a Damon Salvatore type situation, sire bond, where it does turn into everything it does with
Got it.
Elena.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Are you guys familiar with Vampire Diaries, or did I just say a bunch of names and nobody?
Yes.
Okay, because none of the
No,
other ones knew what I
course.
meant. So I'm just
Nope.
making sure.
Oh my gosh, no.
Oh, I
Brothers
knew. You
Bond
talk
sent
about them all the
bourbon.
time. How could I
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
know who Damon
So we do the
Salvatore
drink
is?
of the episode, and Brothers Bond, which is their bourbon, the two
Yeah.
lead actors' bourbon brand, in case
Mhm.
nobody knew that from Vampire
Okay.
Diaries. They
Didn't
sent
know that.
us their bourbon. So yes,
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
That's
we
amazing.
are fans.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, John, hit us with it. Come on.
I was going to say, I envision with the possessiveness, I envision Kingfisher almost being like a Schmidt scenario when Cece is talking about getting a breast reduction and you hear him from the other room where he's like, no. And then you hear him stomping through and comes in and he's all mad. Something like that. Like they get like too close and he just
Interesting.
senses it from very far away and like, I don't know.
Hmm.
I've never
New Girl
pictured
reference for those who don't
Kingfisher
know.
as Schmidt. Like those two
No.
characters.
No, it
It's a bit
doesn't
of a
But now
matter.
I
stretch.
see it. Okay.
It's a bit of a stretch personality wise.
How much
but
of a stretch? Oh, okay.
are you serious? Are you serious?
I know.
I'm going to
What?
start over.
So good.
Oh my gosh.
It's a visual bit for the audio.
Yeah, I'm so
Yes.
sorry.
Oh my gosh. Michelle, which camp are you in with Saris and Taladeus?
I definitely know there's a bond. I really don't know if I don't think it'll get sexual in terms of I think the urge will be there, but I think Kingfisher will turn into like touch her and die ultimately
yeah.
because their I feel like their bond outweighs the vampire bond in terms of like Fae and the entire universe and the realm and everything. So I just think it's gonna be like another like block in the road for them, and this is something that they're gonna have to overcome and figure out. Would I be mad at a white shoes? Never mad at a white shoes, but I don't think
Never.
that's. I personally don't think that's where it's gonna go.
Just
Would it make it
tension.
more palatable if it was like a lot of tension, maybe to the point where Saris was even like trying to instigate and Taladeus was like, please don't, I'm going to die. And then when Kingfisher finally came back, he was like, please go to your room, like right now. Just
Your
go.
room.
I mean, I would be here for it if it did happen. I just don't think it will in terms of their characters. I just
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
Kingfisher is too much of like he's too possessive. Like he's just too possessive. I don't think he would be on board with it at all. I think he would rather like kill Taladeus instead and figure out all that shit. Obviously that would mess with a lot of stuff with Saris, but he would definitely be thinking it.
But she'd be free. if he
It's true.
did, if he did kill Tal.
How about you, Danny?
Hey, there's definitely a bond there. And like we've talked about this on our show too. And I think that it's mentioned several times. So again, that something's there. We don't get enough of it to know what's going on. In the Maze chapter, we understand, in the Maze bonus chapter, we understand Kingfisher and Taladeus' friendship a little bit more in that chapter. So, which was an incredibly game changer chapter for me of understanding him as a character, Taladeus, and his motives. That helped me a lot to understand where we're going in Brimstone. So for me, that was a critical element of deciding, is there even a path of having any kind of sexual tension, or is it just like a forced thing? And what does that look like? I don't think Taladeus would want to hurt Kingfisher in that way, knowing what Kingfisher's already been through. So I think regardless of what we know, which that there is a bond, if there is or isn't any sexual tension, I don't think Saris or Taladeus want to act on it. I think both of them are in a position to where they know Kingfisher, and I think Kingfisher's just not in that camp at all. And even though we know that the beginning of Brimstone, and I don't know for how long, which is another question here, that they're going to be separated, I still don't know if that level of betrayal is something that they would knowingly do. Now, I specifically said knowingly because do I think that there could be a way in which there's either too much wine or too much something and something could happen inadvertently? Possibly. Again, also not against a wide shoes situation. I just also agree that I think Kingfisher needs therapy. He doesn't have that. So we've got to rely on our friends to treat each other nicely. So I'm thinking that that's if there is anything that does happen, it would be accidental. And obviously not accidental. Nobody just like falls on eggplants. But, it's like there could be a moment where
I mean,
there's something induced where
gosh.
things could happen that
Uh-huh.
maybe a situation happens that's unintended to happen. And they're acting on more than the bond is part of how they're reacting to a situation versus something that they actually purely, completely wanted to do. So hopefully that answers your question. And no one
Interesting.
falls on
Yeah.
eggplants. It's not a thing.
all right, Danny. hit us
Okay.
with the next question.
John, I'm going to start with you and we'll go backwards. That way we all get a chance to, because I feel like you've been going last. So you're in the hot seat. Is Kingfisher's dad alive?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We'll
Yes.
come back.
Okay, Kyle.
I do. Yes.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Now, where is he?
Did everyone
I
say
think he's
yes?
been in. Yeah.
Or did
Mhm.
everyone go?
Are you
Okay.
guys both in the yes camp too, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Okay,
feel
where
like
is
he's been
he?
in Zilvarin, but I don't necessarily know what he's been doing.
Thank you between pages and friends for joining us tonight. Con, Lauren, John, and Kyle, we had such a great time discussing all things Quicksilver, and I learned a lot about emojis. I how emojis can be used to describe certain things. I feel like I was just being completely educated, and I don't use them properly. So,
Or
and of
enough.
course,
I
theories,
feel like we're
yeah,
just
or
not.
enough,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean.
Missed opportunity.
Honestly, I mean, there's only so many eggplants you can drop, and the fact that you can do more than that is just mind blowing.
Yeah. And then all the other things like that I never would have thought would have been good for that. But okay. Hey, we learned a lot. I think we just had a really good time with them and it was
Mhm.
a whole lot of fun having them on the show. So please go check out Between Pages and Friends if you don't already listen to them. They're a lot of fun. We had a great time with them on the show and we're really excited for all the coverage we have coming up between all of us to see what theories are true, what aren't, and what's about to go down in Brimstone. So super excited for that. But now it's time, Michelle, for our mystery Q&A. And I know we were talking about like Fae magic and all of that. And Kyle had some really good pointers about the like old Fae and like OG stuff that he really liked about Quicksilver. And I have a question for you, kind of more in a Black Mirror vein, but also in like a magic-y vein. So
Okay.
just go with me on this journey. Yeah, you're like, what is she about to ask me?
Mhm.
My question is this. So this is totally like on brand for me. We were walking our dogs this morning, and my husband's thinking about some like work related thing that he has going on, and he's like, yeah, and we're just like talking, and I was like, oh, do you want to know what I was thinking about? And it's the question I'm about to ask you now. And he's
Okay.
like, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay. So I was thinking about what if you woke up and you were in someone else's body and someone else is in yours, but not like Freaky Friday where you like knew the person, more like your soul and subconscious, your whole form like went into somebody else. Like, what are you doing first? Your face.
This just reminds me of a Lil Dicky song. I don't know if you know who Lil Dicky is. He's
I
like a
do.
spoof rap. If you don't know who Little
Tell the
Dicky
audience
is,
though.
he is a comedic rapper, and yeah, he makes a song about he wakes up and he's Chris Brown, and Chris Brown wakes up and he's
Oh,
him, and he's like, they're both like, what the fuck? What is
they're
Lil Dicky?
famous. I guess you could do that. You take this where you want,
Well, yeah,
wherever you
yeah.
want.
I mean, my first response is gonna be like, who am I? Like, I need to know who I am. Do I have a
Valid.
choice in who I change into, or I don't
You
even
just
know if
wake
I
up
want to
and
have
you're
a choice.
someone. I didn't go that far.
Okay.
Yeah. You know
And then I
that
gotta
you're not
figure
in
out-
your body. Let's just say that.
I hope I'm just not homeless.
Right now you're painfully aware. You're in like a weird situation too because you're like really pregnant right now, which makes this like doubly weird.
Does the
Let's say
baby
you're
come
in
with
this
me?
instance. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's say in this instance you're just Michelle at the moment,
Okay.
not pregnant Michelle.
Okay.
In this scenario.
I mean, I would figure out
'Cause
who I
that's too many
am, and
factors.
then
Yeah.
depending on who I am, like if I'm someone like famous or something, then I would very much probably not use and abuse perks, but I would figure out what perks I can do. And, you know,
Would you find you?
I mean, ultimately, I feel like you have to so you can like do the switch, right? I mean, I know you said it's not like Freaky Friday where it's like you have to boom, like run into each
Yeah.
other, but maybe. Yeah, because I'd be confused. I want to
Yeah.
know who. Well, I mean, obviously, I know who is me, but I also don't
Yeah.
want them ruining like my life. But I also like,
Yeah.
if it's someone like
Uh-huh.
famous, be like, okay, well, let me look at your contact list and let me let me see what I can
Man,
like
what
get
if
away with for the day.
I think the added plot twist of, like, you actually being pregnant makes this question even more, like, crazy, because then you'd really wanna find yourself, because
Yeah,
now the person who woke up as you is like, "The fuck?"
yeah. What if it was like, yeah, especially if someone who actually it wasn't pregnant or has never been pregnant or was like
Yeah.
couldn't be pregnant, and they're like, I mean, if someone just randomly woke up in my body and they're like feeling kicks and they stand up out of bed and their hip hurts so bad and their feet are swollen, like I would feel sorry for them because you just like I've been like progressing towards all of these painful feelings and
They,
it's
like,
just
wake
like
up, you're like,
bam, just wake up, your
"Bam, 3rd
feet like don't
trimester."
yeah. you know. Yeah, I got sausages for ankles right now and it's a fun time. So I would feel bad for that person.
That's so
I
weird.
would like
Okay.
a reprieve from feeling that for just even like an hour. It would
Like a
be
day.
great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if this only, like, okay, so, like, okay, me plotting my next book. Kidding, kidding.
All
Alright,
right. What
that's a
about
good
you?
answer. I like all those. I went way too far with this, in my head, as one does. Mine was very Black Mirror. Mine went dark real quick. I know you're totally shocked by that, Michelle. Yeah,
No,
you're like, "I'll take a one-day
clearly not.
reprieve of not being pregnant for just one day, and then I'll go right back into my body. Everything will be fine, and we'll figure
Yeah.
things out." And I'm just over here like, ho hopefully I'm in a body where they speak the same language as me, and hopefully I'm in an area that has Wi-Fi so I can get back to myself. Like, listen, I went okay,
Yeah. I
that's
mean,
my sound
that's
effect for, like, off the deep end. I went yeah, I went I went down the rabbit hole. We went
I
down.
mean, I guess that's fair.
No, that's kinda like I just, like, thought and thought and thought and thought. It was probably not healthy, and which is also why I had to bring it here because I needed to know for surezies that I was not a healthy thought process. But then I was like, "Well, is it just a thriller book that I'm writing in my head?" Probably, is my answer.
Like,
Undeveloped.
imagine you woke up and you're literally across the planet in some like random country and like
Yeah,
some random village.
that's
You're
where I
just like,
was in my head.
yeah. See, I'm
That was what,
like,
because that for me, that's what would happen. I wouldn't be like in my neighbor down the street's body. I'd be
no, of
like
course not.
waking up halfway around the world, you know? Yeah, that's what would happen to me
That would
in
be
this
awful.
scenario.
I didn't, and maybe because I'm just basing it off of a Lil Dicky
It
song,
would,
I didn't go that
it
way
would,
because he had a good
I hope
time.
your question's way
So
lighter than what I just asked. Yeah.
it absolutely is. Your questions are
It
always
would-
dark. My question's so basic.
It's dark
It's
up
what's your
here. All right. Like, gosh.
so what's your go-to Christmas cookie to make?
Oh,
You're like, what if you wake up in the middle of in someone else's body across the or across the globe?
what's
Oh
my
my
favorite
gosh.
Christmas cookie? Oh, oh God, Michelle, I'm not even mentally prepared for that type of transition. The juxtaposition of those two things is just like, what?
Should
That is
I
why Mr.
give you a
Q&A is
darker
great.
question?
No, we're good here. This is good. This is a good question. Favorite Christmas cookie? Actually, you know what I really like? So I haven't been to one in a while, but pre-COVID, I think I went to one, and maybe post-COVID, one or two with like, I haven't. Anyway, those cookie exchange parties, those are like
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite because
those are
then
fun.
you get to like try everybody else's like Christmas favorite cookies. Which, by the way, if no one's done one of these before, they're really cool. You You bring like 3 or 4 dozen cookies of like your specific one type of favorite cookie. You let the host know what that's going to be. And then the host will have all the list of different types of cookies. They put them all out. And then you have your bin you brought, and you get to get 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever of everyone else's. And then everybody wins. You get new cookies, and yeah, it's a great time.
Yeah.
So that's my answer, which is not really an answer.
No, it's not.
I guess I like the variety. I like the variety
Okay.
of boxes. I don't like to limit myself to
Okay,
it. But if I had
fair.
to choose, I also really like, there's like a shortbread Publix ones that come out. Like Publix
Oh
is
yeah,
our
or
grocery
they're
store,
like
by the way.
dipped in.
And they come at, yes, yep,
Mhm.
Those are more, they're not even because they're that great, which no hate on Publix. It's like it's like, they're so good. And their bakeries,
Florida
top
staple.
tier. They did our wedding cake. Look, I have no, but it's not because those cookies are like anything more than like really nostalgic. I remember them on my holiday table since I was a kid. They've made
Right.
these same holiday cookie boxes forever. So that would be my answer. My solid
That's
answer.
fair.
Yeah. What about you?
You know, talking about cookie exchanges, I've always thought about how much trust you're putting in other people who like bake, because you don't know like other people's baking process and like other
Yeah.
people's hygiene. And, do
I
they
know.
wash their hands as much as I do? Or do their pets just
Think about your
randomly,
host.
like, do they, right. Do
No,
they
you
have
have to
a
think about your
cat?
host. No, but the
Well, no.
host, like if the host is inviting those people, you have to like trust the host
Yeah.
enough to know that the people they're inviting is going to pass the vibe
But you
check.
never
You know
know.
what I mean?
You never know.
This is
Like,
fair.
you truly never
This is
know.
fair.
Because I'm just thinking back in college, I had a friend who she had cats, and there's nothing wrong with. I love cats. I'm allergic, but
Yeah.
but they would just walk all over the kitchen counters while she's cooking. I'm like, that's like mildly unsanitary. So I'm like, okay, or like, children also have grubby little fingers, because I have a child with grubby
Indeed.
little fingers, and they like
Same.
to taste test things when you're not looking, and just
Mhm.
I just think of like hygiene purposes,
And put them back
I always get
sometimes after they taste
yes,
test them. They're like,
yeah.
"Oh, just kidding," and you're like,
I'm just gonna
no,
yep.
put it back.
There's just a
You've
lot of
committed
trust
now.
going into those people without
Yes.
regulation.
Very true. What's your cookie though? Give us the cookie.
Okay, my go-to, like if I'm gonna bake a cookie, like for my family, just because my husband's like favorite cookies, the peanut butter cookies, and they're like so simple to make. So, and I will make like multiple dozens, and they're all gone. And then he blames me for, gaining his 10 pounds over Christmas. I'm like, you didn't have to eat all the cookies. But
Yeah.
yeah, so peanut butter cookies, but we also make like sugar cookies for Santa.
Mhm.
That's just something that we do every year. We do like the standard sugar cookies, and standard sugar cookies, they're not like, I feel like with shortbread cookies, they're not like top tier cookies. They're pretty basic in terms of
Yeah.
like what they are, but it's like nostalgia and like creating memories and that
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah,
what
and if you have a
Christmas is
little
all
one, you
about.
can like cut out the shapes and you
Yeah.
can do the frosting and all that. It's a good time.
It looks like a
Yeah.
hot mess, and it's fine. And then
Oh,
you
yes,
put them
and
out
it's
on a
totally
plate for
fine.
Santa, and you like munch on a bunch of them and make it look like there's crumbs everywhere, and then the holidays were made.
Exactly.
All right.
I like
Before
it.
we wrap up, let's talk about what's coming up next on Book Club After Dark.
Next week, we are going to be taking a break. We're taking a little break for Thanksgiving and gearing up for Thanksgiving with our family. And we will be back in December with our interview with Banter and Bookmarks podcast, which is going to be really fun because we actually got to meet them in person at Romantasy BookCon this year.
Yes.
So I'm very excited for our interview with them. So make sure you turn in when we come back. And then, of course, we're going to be getting into none other than Brimstone after that. And we have so much for that. So we're going to take our time, get all our notes together, give you guys some time to read the book, and then we will be out with all of our Brimstone content. So super, super excited for that. Hit that subscribe button to hear more of our exciting book talk. And we're looking forward to dissecting these novels with you and have you be a part of our next interview.
Don't forget, we want to hear from you. If you have thoughts on Quicksilver or Brimstone or suggestions for future reads, drop a comment below or message us on one of our social media platforms at Book Club After Dark Pod. Show us your fan art, theories, or anything bookish you'd like to share.
And also visit our website, bookclubafterdark.co. Stay up to date on our cozy content and check out our merch.
That's all for tonight. Sleep tight, owls. Until next time, happy reading.